All right, so this is a video for anybody that's having trouble with their LCD screen on their Aerogarden Harvest Elite. Mine had gone out where the light was on, but the digits itself were not showing. And I wish I made this video earlier before I fixed it, because I want to show you guys how simple the process is. And that's what this video is going to be. I'll take this apart. I'll show you how easy it is to get inside. And then hopefully you guys will be able to fix it yourself as well. All right, so first step is obviously unplug your machine, take out the basin, and unplug the pump. So now we've just got the basic stand here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this, and I wanna apologize for the strange angle, but I'm trying to do this on the counter. So we've got our screws on the bottom. These are all just regular Phillips head screws. And we've got some hidden ones in the feet here. So it does take a little bit of finesse to get in there. I'm gonna grab my little screwdriver here. And you just pop the feet right out. Just like that. And now we've got screws here. We're gonna take out all 4 on the edges. We're gonna take out the 3 here to get the light off. And just so you know, all these screws are the same size, so you don't really have to worry about mixing anything up. They're all the same. All right, so now we can actually separate out the unit. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna very gently separate it and then kinda flip it back. That way we're not stressing the wires here, because that's all the lighting, power, and control stuff. So just gonna rest it on its back like this. And I'll take you in for the close-up just so you guys can see how simple this thing is. It's got a little control board. That's our LCD. And we've got a little plug here. So if you end up getting a new screen, you just need to plug in the power here. It's just a little plastic connector. And I'll show you guys. It's very simple. And then we've got a ribbon cable, which is also very simple to replace. You just flip it up. But let's go a little bit deeper. I'll take these screws out and we'll try to get closer to the LCD. So we've got 1, 2, 3 screws that hold the front in. So I want to target those first. And then we'll work back to the last 2. So we've got 1 here, and I am going to keep these separate just in case, because it's good practice. We don't want to mix up the screws if we don't have to. Just makes things simpler. Now in here, it's actually the further back screw that we need to do first. It kind of has this overlap, so we're gonna get that guy. And now I'm gonna go for this one here as well. And this screw that I'm doing right now, I believe it's this one, is a different size. And it's pretty obvious. I believe it, yes it is. And we got 1 more here. I like this narrow one because some of the screws are a little harder to reach. So I've got some iFixit tweezers here. These are great for grabbing hard to reach screws that have fallen. Okay, so you can see it's a slightly different length for the left side inner. So I'm just gonna keep that one. kind of lined up with where it goes. There we go. All right. Just get the screw out of here so we have a clean slate to look at. Okie dokie. So we're inside, and now it's actually very simple. You can pop the LCD out. It's in this plastic harness thing. And what you're going to want to do is, I'm actually not going to remove mine because this was quite tricky to get in here, but you would just pull on the tabs and just look closely because there are plastic elements that hold the LCD in place. And once you pop the old one out, you'll see how it works, and you just fit the new one in. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll show you to actually unplug the power here. Just pull it from the sides. And then the ribbon cable is a little more tricky. I like to use tweezers for this. There you go. So just flip it up in the center, and then your ribbon cable comes out, and when you're ready to put it back in, you just seat it and try to make sure that it's even across the way there, and then you're just gonna flip that down back on it, and then you reassemble. So as you can see, it takes about 5 minutes to get inside here. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in first just so that the screen's in place. And actually now's a great time to test it. So I've got my power. We're just going to plug it in and check the front. Our screen worked. Looks good. Fabulous. And if you're going to do it that way, if you're going to test it with it, just make sure whatever you're resting the board on is actually plastic, because you don't want to short anything out by accident. 95% of this is plastic, so you're not really at risk. And what I like to do also is just gently push that ribbon cable down. That way it stays nice and tucked. All right, so we've got our front back in, and now I can start screwing things back together. And you always want to make sure that you don't have any power going to this while you're working inside of it. Actively screwing things, because you can touch something and short it out, and then it will be ruined. Well, everything looks good. Screen worked. We tested it. Gonna flip this back up. Gently push it back together here. Make sure that the light stand in the back. It's all nicely put together. We're gonna test it one more time just to be sure. And things look good. When you're reassembling, you do not want to use a drill, because these screws are screwing right into plastic. So you just want it to be kind of finger tight, just enough. And you don't want to strip the plastic, because once you strip the plastic of the case, then the screw will no longer hold anything at all. So you can save yourself the hassle. Make sure you check the link in the description. I've got a full write-up on how to do this with still imagery to make it super simple.